Welcome to the Sulfur Mines, the definition of wasting 5 hours of your time just for the purpose of some random numbers. Will I return to grind this place in the future? Definitely not. Why am I here in the first place? I don't know, because I always saw Sulfur Mines and Pila Ku Jail as pretty much two of the same areas. Pila Ku Jail was always the better version. Sulfur Mines is pretty interesting, I guess, to grind if you're a seasoned character because it has good drop rate for those materials, but other than that, for some reason I always bundle together Sulfur Mines and Pila Ku Jail, so here we are after Pila Ku Jail. This is the next one in line, and yeah, it's not amazing. Don't expect huge numbers. It's just, you know, updated from bad to slightly less bad, let's just say that. This is a chart with a conclusion from the last time. This is what I got when I tested this place originally like a year ago on my Guardian. So it was originally worth around 80-ish million silver per hour, which is pretty poop, let's say, these days. And in terms of clearing speed, at the bottom you can see I averaged around 8,000 trash per hour. That's our starting point. That's what I have to beat. I have to be basically just better than that, just marginally better than that. So with a Caphras Stone buff, I expect this area to be literally that loot table, exactly the same with Caphras Stones on top of it. I don't think I always have to remind you what class I play and the stats, but regardless, if you never heard about Sulfur Mines, it's pretty much here on the map, let's say north of Valencia City. It's just an area I would recommend maybe for seasoned characters, but nothing really outside of that. I played Corsair Succession, same class. For the gear, it's kind of irrelevant. All you have to know is that I'm one-shotting the packs, so for all intents and purposes, whether I grind this or Polyforest, I literally one-skill the pack, so it doesn't even matter what rotation I use skill-wise. I just throw whatever keeps me moving as much as possible. I have full tier 4 pets, so there's that. Maxed out in looting. I don't really loot manually, it's all just the pets themselves, and I believe that's pretty much it. As a brief summary to how my 5 hours went, I suppose I could say the area is quite literally empty, even emptier than Pila Ku Jail, if that's actually possible. Let's just say it might be a bit more contested on Arsha servers for, obvious reasons, or maybe during the season starts when there are a bunch of season characters who need those Tuvala ores, if they even grind for them these days. And other than that, just chill, relaxed grinding, completely fine. But the money per hour is not amazing, so despite this being empty, I would not recommend it. As always, I stored all of my materials in the nearest emptiest bank possible. In this case, the town close to the port one. I forgot the name of it. Yeah, that's where I sold all of my items besides the scrolls, which went into the marketplace because they don't stack. And at the end, we made the Excel spreadsheet and the profit and, the comparison. So this is the result. This is today's conclusion, I suppose. In terms of the trash breakdown, as I guess expected, I'm a little bit faster at this point. I believe it's because Corsair just has pretty fast animations to her skills, so at least compared to Guardian specifically, she casts skills faster, so she naturally grinds one-shottable areas a little bit faster. So instead of almost 8,000 trash per hour, this time it's 8,500 trash per hour average. For a Caphras Stone breakdown, I was hoping this place would be better than Pila Ku Jail, because naturally I always knew Sulfur Mines as being the worst version of Pila Ku Jail. Like, this place was never better than Pila Ku Jail in my eyes. So after this Caphras Stone buff, I was low-key hoping that this area in particular would have a higher drop rate for Caphras, just so that it can at the very least be equal to Pila Ku Jail. But sadly it's not. At best you get 20 Caphras per hour. At least on one of my hours I got that. On average it was 17 Caphras per hour. A little bit slower clearing speed compared to Pila Ku Jail, so I suppose with equal trash per hour, the drop rate for Caphras is pretty much the same here or at Pila Ku Jail. I don't know if here the drop rate for these claws is lower, but I only got 2 of them in 5 hours. compared to at Pila Ku Jail, where I actually averaged 2.5 of these per hour, so much lower drop rate for the claws, probably, hopefully. The Kafra, as I said, it's about the same. This area actually drops Blackstones, the Blackstone armor and weapon. At Pila Ku Jail, the drop rate for the Blackstones was pretty much inexistent, so this area does, I guess, make up a little bit for the loss in profit, in Blackstones. Compass pieces, the exact same, 1 per hour, so 5 in total. I got 5 Cecil necklaces. I have no idea how many of them were from drops, or from opening the soiled necklaces, or from just killing Afuarus, but 5 of them in total, and besides that, everything else is mostly irrelevant. A couple of ingots from the Afuaru, yeah, just other irrelevant items. I forgot to mention this last time as well, so for the Iona fragments, I value these assuming that you get enough of them to at some point craft the crescent ring and then sell this to the marketplace. That's how I value the Iona fragments. So once again, the breakdown for trash, the rare items, the Kafras and the dust, how many of them drop per hour, how much of each makes up your final profit. Once again, about 18% of your final income is in just trash, and about 80% comes from items you sell straight to the marketplace. So you kind of need the value pack if you even want to attempt to grind this place. In darker green, these are taxed with a marketplace return. These in lighter green are not taxed, and a final profit of 140 million silver per hour. Quite a lot to say about just a simple spreadsheet. 140 versus 170 at Pila Ku Jail, so yeah, it's less, it's not as profitable. That's why I would rather send you to Pila Ku Jail instead. But still, compared to the previous 80 million silver, 140 is an improvement, so after the Kafrastone buff, I suppose I could say this place got a lot better. But a lot better compared to trash, what it was before, is not recommendable, it's still not recommendable. And I guess that pretty much wraps up everything. I'm really curious now. If I go to Sikraya or some of the high-end areas that also got buffed, I'm curious how broken the money per hour is there. If the new standard for low-end areas is 150 plus million silver, I'm curious how high-end areas look like. I really hope they can compete with Elvia. I kind of low-key expect or hope Sikraya to be like 300 million silver, or at the very least 250, otherwise I would call it outdated and irrelevant. In any case, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed this. You leave a like, if you did, it helps out the video, it helps out my mental state, it makes me feel better and happier, so what downsides are to not liking the video? Leave a comment if you want to share your thoughts, if you actually even grind this place, if anyone ever grinds this place, I'm curious why, probably for the compass or the map piece, and I will see you next time with a different area. Until then, stay happy, because that's very important, and bye bye.